Hi everyone. Today I'm sitting down to listen to this week's poll winner, and this time you have all chosen for me Kate Bush. This is not my first time hearing her, because I did listen to one other song. I guess it's been a good while ago though, and that was Wuthering Heights. Today the song is Running Up That Hill, A Deal with God from 1985. Running Up That Hill is considered Bush's signature song and frequently appears on critics' rankings of the best songs ever made. Sounds interesting then. On its first release, it reached number 3 on the UK singles chart, Bush's highest position since her number 1 single, Wuthering Heights, in 1978, and number 30 on the US Billboard Hot 100 chart. So, I'm curious what makes critics call it one of the best songs ever made. Maybe I'll figure it out, maybe I won't, but let's listen. When those drums came in the intro, I wasn't sure how this was going to work, because I don't associate, of course, this is me having listened to only one of her songs, but I don't associate her voice, because her voice is quite light, with that kind of intense, like something that would balance with that kind of heavy drumming. And so I was thinking, how is this going to go? How is this going to work? It actually works quite well, doesn't it? I want to back up and listen to that opening again before I continue, just to kind of get myself a little bit better oriented for the song. See this? Okay. Whatever. And here come the drums. When these drums come in, it's not like it's anything unusual, out of the ordinary. It's a pretty standard beat, and it's just drums, right? But it has to do with how incredibly forcefully they are presented, and dominant. I guess I would say dominant. They are. Although drums can be on their own, they don't always have to have such a feeling of dominance. And here, they dominate from the first strike. Okay. And then the other stuff that's going on here, synth type stuff, right? So if I put an instrumental name to it, I'm not saying that it is that particular instrument playing, but it just helps to identify the sonic elements, right? So there's this kind of wash of nondescript sound, which is what we heard before the drums entered, right? And it's continuing in the background, just kind of swirling around back there. But then we have this other dee-dee-da-da, dee-dee-da-da. Again, a small little thing, musically speaking. But the way it's presented is so intense. And so we have the incredible dominance of the drums, and then the intensity of this da-da-da-da, which it's not just the sound of it. Actually, the sound of it is quite, the tone is quite smooth and mellow. If I were going to put an instrument name to it, I might say it's kind of clarinetish, kind of maybe like a viola, kind of maybe, it could be some electrified guitar sound. But it's more the intensity and the sharpness of his entrance and exit of every single note. Dee-dee-da-da, dee-dee-da-da. Actually, this is what we call articulation, right? In instrumental music. How does the note begin and how does the note end? Is it cut off very abruptly? Is there a slight rounding to it? All these different things. This sounds like it starts and it ends with a consonant. It's that abrupt. And that wash in the mic, dee dee dee, dee dee dee, dee dee dee. And now at this point, these drums, which felt so dominant, now seem to be settling a bit and feeling like, okay, this is a something maybe a little bit descriptive of the title, Running Up That Hill. And the thought flashed through my mind as I was the first time hearing it there a few moments ago. I was thinking, okay, this sounds kind of like a running song. In other words, the sort of rhythmic energy that just keeps you going and keeps you going. Running up that hill, running up that hill. Yep, we could just go charging up that hill with this kind of drumming going on in our ears, this kind of musical beat. Okay, her voice enters. And my first thought is, oh, okay. Yeah, we're in a much more, I'm going to say more modern era here with the way she's mic'd and the way her voice is processed and all. And that's not always something that I love because it doesn't feel perfectly natural. If Kate Bush were to walk into this room and stand right here in front of me right now and open her mouth and sing, I guarantee it would not sound like this at all. It cannot. You don't have a voice that's so I had to get over that in the first moments and be like, oh, wait a minute. Okay. Yeah. All right. Adjusting myself here. Once I adjust myself, then it gets interesting. Because as I start listening, I can listen past all that processing and, whatever's done in the recording process to get that sort of modern, unnatural sound. And if I listen past that, I can hear this incredible intensity in her voice and this vibrant energy. I'm going to say that, well, I think the first rock singer that really I became familiar with and started to really feel the intense energy of the singing was Freddie Mercury. So whenever I hear a voice that's just super energized and intense, and there's this vibrancy to it, I kind of put it in that Freddie Mercury box. Not that it sounds like Freddie Mercury, not that it's imitating or even singing in the style of, but it's the energy, it's the intensity, it's the charisma of it. This voice here has an incredible vibrancy. Listen to how she does her vibrato in that first bit. And it doesn't hurt me. And she supercharges it. And then when she drops down, you can hear her coloring that lower note. It doesn't hurt me. Didn't hurt me. Do you wanna feel how it feels? How it feels. When she says feels, you hear her change the tone of voice. You hear her start shifting already the details of emotion and expression. And it becomes, what I'm getting at is, it becomes this very rapidly changing emotional experience. Even I might say, kind of like, looking into a kaleidoscope. The idea that just as these drums are charging along, and it's fast and it's fast paced, so also the emotional content of her voice itself. I'm not talking about the lyrics, although of course this is her way of expressing the lyrics, but I'm talking about how her voice itself takes us for this incredibly fast-paced, rapid-fire, emotional journey through all the different highs and lows and intensities that are being expressed here. And that's why after I got past the intro with those drums that I felt might be too dominant for her voice, and then her voice came in, and I suddenly thought, this actually works. It's working really well. And that is the kind of the background, the reasoning, and the sense behind my first impression when I first hit the pause button of, oh, I think this is actually pretty good. Let's just enjoy this ride we're going to be taking on. The intensity. It's explosive. Listen how it gets. Suddenly it becomes thinner, kind of mocking. Ooh, warming up. Suddenly the edge, the power. Oh, there's a little bit of wistfulness there, longing. I love her, the emotional expression and the way she is shaping and driving the music with her singing. I truly love it. It's top tier. This kind of handling of the music, she becomes the song itself. And she makes us become the song too. That is really incredible. I'm sitting there wishing I could hear this live without all the recording stuff that was done. I would love to hear her voice in its, should I say, its natural form. Because I know for a fact all of that is there in her natural voice. And just me, with my own personal musical sonic preferences, I think it would be perhaps even more riveting than this performance here. Regardless, I'm not going to make a big fuss about that beyond just expressing how I think and feel about it. This, even the way, I mean, aesthetically, this is a well-balanced recording. All of these different instruments, the voice, the way it's been handled in the recording process, it does truly work. And so I can't complain about it, even though I can wish to maybe hear it differently, but still, it's good. The drums by this point become simply something that is faded in the background.
It's you and me, you won't be unhappy. If only could, I'd make a deal with God, and I'd get him to swap out places. Be running on that road, be running on that hill, be running on that building. See if only could. It's you and me. It's you and me. You won't be unhappy. Come on, baby. Come on, darling. Let me steal this moment from you now. Come on, angel. Come on, darling.
The sort of pizzicato or very short staccato string sounds there, I guess I could say they embody the intensity of the start of every single line, or almost every single line. The way everything she sings, it's melodically and structurally, we have these sudden bursts of explosive, it's an explosive pace of yada da da da, yada da da da, and that musical design is one of the things that makes this feel so intense, because it feels like somebody is letting out some pent up inner frustrations, thoughts, emotions, things that have been just bundled up inside. They suddenly come bursting out, and we're kind of taken aback a moment, like, wait, where did that come from? That's what you didn't let on, that's what you've been feeling. And so we have these constant outbursts in every line. And yet, what's being sung is not the lyrics themselves, and even the voice itself. It's not an angry voice. It's not an angry set of lyrics. And so to pair that with this kind of outburst style singing, it gives us an intense musical emotional experience without making us feel like we are dwelling in a dark place. There's this the way that shapes the music and communicates something through the delivery of it, through the actual form of the music itself. It's intriguing to me the way this has been structured, built, so that we get this intensity without, might I say, the kind of anger that we normally associate with those kinds of outbursts, sudden outbursts. Because it's not angry, it's not bitter, it's not that. And so it surprises us and kind of takes us off guard for a minute, and we might back away for a second and say, really? You feel that strongly about it? This is what you have pent up inside of you. And at the same time, it's compelling. It is really compelling.
Let me steal this moment from you now. Come on, angel. Come on, darling. Let's exchange the
Yeah. The explosion. Isn't even the melodic shape of the lines. Interesting. And then we're back to this kind of wash of sound at the end. Incredibly compelling. That's how I would sum it up. Would I say it's among the best songs ever made? As I said, I'm not sure that I can quite rank a song that way. But it is very well designed. It gives these lightning strikes throughout every single line of just intense energy. And I think the thing that impresses me most of all, one of the things that impresses me a great deal, is how she is able to completely take over the song when she enters. Meaning, as I talked about the drums, they're so dominant at the beginning, and I'm thinking, what's going to compete with that? And yet she doesn't compete. She takes over. And those drums, which were so present and all-consuming. Yes, okay, again, I understand. Things have been balanced and set volume-wise and so forth in the recording process and editing afterwards. I understand that. But she herself, the energy and the vibrancy and the intensity, the charisma of her vocal presence completely owns the piece. And it makes it even more powerful and compelling. Just like, let's say you walk into a room that, has a really dominating personality, and you think, oh boy, am I going to spend the whole evening with this person here, and they're going to dominate the room. And then suddenly somebody else walks in and completely takes over. And that person who thought they were so big and so important, suddenly they're off in the corner or whatever, but they don't own the space anymore. It's that kind of charisma, that kind of incredible artistic ownership of the song that I find so exciting and impressive in this piece of music. So thank you all for voting for this song, voting for Kate Bush, and this has been an exciting first listen, one that is memorable, and I enjoyed the experience, and I'm really happy to have another piece to associate with her, in addition to Wuthering Heights, and gradually be building my familiarity with her work as well. So it's been a lot of fun. Again, thank you, each of you, and I'm looking forward to whatever it is you pick for me next week. I'll see you soon.